Hi everyone, it's Jessica. I want to welcome you back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Amazon Prime Solos, Episode 6, Nera. We're almost at the end of the season. I'm pretty excited about it because I haven't liked the last 3 episodes that much. We started strong with the first 3, and then these past 3 that I've seen, I've been less fond of. This new one, Nera, is a movie pitch that they put into a half-hour, suggestive cell. One thing I will say is now that I've seen episodes 4, 5, and 6, I am beginning to see a bit of a tonal shift. We started with episode 1 being pretty upbeat, and 2 still being a positive human-forward message even if it was a little sad, 3 being a little bit more internally complex and reflective. Episode 4 is a little bit more conclusive. It seems to imply that it's going to be sad going forward for our character. Episode 5, Jenny, is about a bad character. We're not quite sure where it's going, but it's not going anyplace good. So now we move into episode 6, and it's shot like a low-budget horror movie. I say that, but the scenes visually are very good. I think the issue is just that there's not very good pacing. The idea has been done a lot of different times, and they don't bring anything new to it or interesting. So episode 6 opens us up in an isolated cabin in a snowy woods sort of situation. And right away, I don't think they nailed the science fiction element. I feel like this is very fantasy. They show us a couple of gadgets that I think is supposed to imply an upgrade in technology, and really all it does to me is show slightly different technology. Like the radio is still working on standard broadcast waves, it seems like, and they just put a hologram in front of it. And I don't know why you would do that. The whole point of radio is that it's a non-visual medium. That really bothered me. The radio with the visual medium. I don't know why you would have done that. I don't know who thought that was going to be a successful gadget. I'm really perplexed about is we haven't improved communication. The cell phone keeps going in and out. The radio itself is going in and out. Whatever report Nera is listening to about the weather, not very steady. The cabin itself looks like a regular old rustic cabin that you've always seen. There's nothing special about its architecture or its insulation or anything like that. This one to me is the one where I could see very clearly no thought had been put into what it would mean to live in the future, or what kind of developments would be going on alongside the future tech that we're exploring in each solo episode. The other thing is the music scoring, some of the framing of the shot, even how they've been directing the actress playing Nera to act is all kind of horror movie tropey. And even though they're trying to elevate this to something artistic and special and unique, I'm getting B horror trope vibes from it. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking
this is a higher quality thing than a B horror movie, but this is shot for shot, facial expression, scene, plot point, what I would expect from a B horror movie.
So that was sort of confusing for me. I'm wondering if they didn't think they'd have a lot of crossover for people watching horror to science fiction, which is odd. A lot of people who watch fantasy, science fiction also are into horror. The genres have a lot of overlap. The actual science fiction element of this, the make a better baby or whatever, it's not really clear if Nera has a totally artificial baby or if she had naturally got pregnant the traditional normal way, and then she took in this serum or whatever to speed up her pregnancy or to guarantee that her pregnancy was healthy. We don't really know what this better baby serum means. We don't know why she's isolated in this cabin. It doesn't seem like this is where she lives or works. I don't know, a vacation home maybe, question mark. It's so cluttered. I don't think that's what it is either, but I'm just I'm so perplexed. Why are we at this cabin right now? I don't understand. And why is there no one else with her? I understand she might be a single mother, but she doesn't have a friend or a family member there with her. She doesn't think maybe now is not the time. It was a series of stupid decisions. And that actually is part of what contributed to me to the B horror movie aspect of it. In those slasher films, the characters make a series of bad choices. And that's how they end up getting killed. I sort of felt the same way for her. It was hard for me to feel invested. It was hard for me to find this a believable situation. Not just because the world building wasn't there, but the character motivation wasn't there either. Then we have the baby birth scenes. Spoilers, by the way. There's childbirth here, and everything after this is going to be a spoiler for the episode. The baby is born, and then it starts to age up rapidly. she calls the doctor and she's all like,
"You promised this wouldn't even happen."
And the doctor stresses that the child is very gifted and she knows what she has to do. At first he says take care of the kid, and I misinterpret that to mean like actually caring for the child, treating the child with empathy and kindness, which makes sense to me. If the child is very intelligent and very gifted, then you would want to provide a supporting, nurturing, loving environment so that they could fully develop those gifts and talents. I think based off of a second like shaky voicemail that by take care of the child, he's very gifted, they meant that she had to kill the kid before the kid killed her, which is like a weird scenario. We haven't been given enough information to buy into this premise at all. Like, I still don't know what the better baby stuff does. I don't know if it's just like an enhancement to a baby that you conceived normally, or if it's a whole conception and development process that you're doing inside of a woman's womb instead of a test tube for reasons. It seems like skipping the pregnancy part is part of what would be desirable with a better baby. Just my take on that. Since I don't know what the serum does or why it does it, and I don't know what the side effects for using the serum are, how common using the serum is, it's hard to create a sense of stakes or concern. I just see like a kid growing up rapidly, and the kid seems nice. He's cute, he's pretty normal. I was really concerned about the hives he was getting from the sweater. But like, I was concerned for him. I wasn't concerned for the mom. I wasn't concerned when the kid picked up the knife, even though they had all this scary music playing. I was kind of concerned when mom picked up the knife. But even then, I was like,
she's not going to do it. There's not enough time or special effects for all this to be going on.
I don't understand what the point of this short was. What were we exploring? I don't know what kind of questions I was supposed to ask. I'm obviously asking the wrong questions, being obsessed with the baby serum, being obsessed with the radio that has a hologram on it, being surprised that no one updated technology for better, more consistent communication, and being concerned about mom being alone. Like, all of these elements are obviously not the point of this short, but I'm not sure what the point is. Is the focus supposed to be on the kid? Am I supposed to feel some sort of sense of tragedy because she has been carrying that kid for 8 months and he's probably going to be dead by the end of the day with the way his rapid aging is going? Because I certainly do feel sad about that. But again, this is not the focus of these scenes. The focus here was on her being pregnant, her sudden birth, and then her decision whether or not to kill this child. Is this some kind of weird pro-choice, pro-life scenario? Are we having an abortion debate right now? That doesn't make sense to me. Abortion is a thing that happens before birth. So once the kid is born, too late for that. That's a conversation we're supposed to have about how moms are supposed to have unconditional love, but really they have a certain set of expectations, and when those expectations aren't met, sometimes the love is conditional? Or is this supposed to be about overcoming those expectations and rising to the occasion? Is this supposed to be a mom and a son bonding? I don't think this was the right way to go about it, because the two of them don't really bond. Deciding not to kill her son or turn him over to police who might hurt or kill him is really not even in the same spectrum as her showing her son love and the son showing her love in return. And the fact that the two of them have a very close relationship and obviously don't trust each other is kind of interesting, but because we don't explore the reasons why that's the case, the child just instinctively doesn't trust his mother, and the mom just believes she has to kill the son for no reason. Also, I was pretty fixated on the fact that this child who's rapidly growing up knows English and understands a whole bunch of different concepts. Like, we don't just come pre-programmed that way. Is that what the Better Baby serum does? It gives you all that information, like a sociological mind dump. That seems like it would be dangerous whether or not the kid was growing up rapidly. Also, you can't just form words. That takes time and practice. Even if he had all those memories, it would take him a while to develop his muscles and to practice pronunciation, all that kind of stuff. So this is just like way out there. It's not even science fiction to me, it's fantasy. It's like a schlocky fantasy horror, and it doesn't make any sense or tell any points. It's not dangerous like episode 4 Sasha was. I think that was like the timing on that and what was being portrayed portrayed and how it was being portrayed was actually potentially harmful to people. This one is just bad. I just don't like it. I wish I had more feedback for it. I'm sort of disappointed that these past 3 episodes have kind of been down on the show. And I'm also kind of sad because at this point, like, I can't wait to get through episode 7 so I can be done. I don't know what I'm going to do after solos on this show, but I know I don't want to do any more solos. I'm excited to be done with this saga. And actually, what's kind of funny about that is this is similar to how my experience with anthologies go as a whole. If I read a book of anthologies, the first 5 to 10, I'm having a good time reading, even if I don't like the anthologies. And like somewhere around the 11th through the 15th anthology, I'm just done with that book. I don't want to read any more anthologies. And maybe that's the same thing. Maybe I'm just not a bunch of short little vignettes in a row kind of person. And right now we have one more episode to kind of try and tie this together. Another thing that's been interesting about watching solos is so far the only one of these 6 episodes has been about a man. And it's just like a lopsided representative spectrum. I'm not quite sure why. I'm not sure if that's saying anything or that was just like by chance or what's going on with that. Overall, I would think these episodes aren't bad. And if someone had time and wanted to watch them because they're short, I would go ahead and say, sure, go do that. I would hope that people will go in with lower expectations or no expectations, because I think if you put too much on these episodes, they start to fall apart and crumble right away. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!